What is up, guys? Fado82 coming at you with the 20th edition of Rust Cribs. Hard to believe it's been 20 episodes, so let's go ahead and get right into it. As always, we're taking a look at vanilla Rust footage with a 1-week wipe cycle. And I don't say that to be snotty. I've recently been getting some comments stating that I must hate modded servers because I always say it's vanilla footage. I simply say it's vanilla footage, guys, because it's important to distinguish between the two, because they are different play experiences entirely. Even if you have a little bit of increased gather rate on a modded server, it's still different than vanilla. And it's just important to distinguish between the two. So that's why I say it. Don't get butthurt. Don't be somebody who gets butthurt about stuff on the internet. Don't live your life being that way. It's not good. You'll die of some type of horrible affliction. So getting right into it, this is a base by the Nightwatch group on Rustopia. They put together an awesome base here with a checkered pattern integrating stone and sheet metal tiles into one another, wall pieces rather, and they look beautiful, look stunning. They also played around with some of the new tile sets here with the chain link fences and then the floor grills, and they put together a shooting range here for their members to sharpen their skills. It's always cool when clans come together and make part of their compound interactive for members. It's sort of like an added benefit of being part of one of these bigger clans. You get to use their facilities. I really love this base design, and I can't wait to see what they pull off this wipe. Their checkered pattern's very distinct, and it feels very Rust, and I just thought it was one of the coolest base designs I've seen in a while. They were built very close to DMG, and keep that in mind for some footage down the road. So taking a look here, this is CML's base design. The leader of CML, his name's Big Pothead. He's a real cool dude, but I think he was smoking a strain that had a little bit too much paranoia associated with it this wipe, because he went absolutely crazy with high exterior stone walls. He layered his base up here more so than I think any other base that I've seen in Rust with my own eyes, and that to me really was shocking to see. You can just see the amount of stone walls there. Now the health of the walls, the way that they respond to C4 and rockets, that has been nerfed, so the walls are actually able to be gotten through a little bit easier with higher end items, but still that's a lot of high exterior stone walls. Built next to CML over here is Boga. They have built on the anvil shaped rock here with a tower that's going to be able to provide their allies CML with some covering fire, but Boga wanted to be on their own. They didn't want to be part of that main compound. They wanted to have their own identity. And you can see here the flair that they have going on in here with different pieces of artwork. I don't know what each piece means. It has meaning to the members, but very disturbing images, very interesting images, haunting ones that really sort of stay with you after you see them. So really cool stuff. And CML was not the only one who was really concerned with high exterior stone walls. YPB, so Riot Tobias and their crew, they also bagged the shit out of their base with high exterior stone walls, and that again is something that speaks to sort of the paranoia of players in Rust, and that's always been a core aspect to Rust. If you give players in Rust the ability to do something, they're going to do it 10 times the amount you think they would. So moving on over here, this is the base of DMG. Now they were built by the Nightwatch base that we took a look at, that checker pattern base before, and there was a sign in Nightwatch's base that said to-do list raid DMG. I'm not sure if that was a joke or if they really did, because it looked like they were allies. They were built so close together, but I was told that they were not allies, so may have been some interesting stories there. But take note here that this is a water base, and water bases, whether they're in shallow water or deep water, provide lots of added benefits. The water, if you step in it, you're going to get cold, especially at night. And if you don't have building privilege, you're not going to be able to throw it on a campfire. And they're very difficult to raid, as you may have seen from the last raid cam, which was a water-based raid cam. A very large group of players got shredded trying to raid a water base just because of the difficulty that's inherent with navigating that water. So take note when you're looking at DMG's base, the flank tower positioning, that is something that is integral to a water-based design as well. Moving on over here, we have a base that was still under construction even towards the end of the wipe cycle, and the players were also very focused on the high exterior stone walls, but also with building an outer shell around the base and very large tower that sprouts out on the end of it, and then a main base in the middle. So some really cool base designs this wipe cycle. A lot of wipes we see bases that look all the same. Depending on what's going on in Rust at that point in time, players will tend to build in very predictable patterns, but this cycle we saw lots of different flair and personality brought to it, and that's always cool stuff to see. So as always, guys, just kind of want to wind things down here and talk about building in Rust and how these bases, especially during a 1 week wipe cycle, a lot of effort goes into building this, which means these members are spending a lot of time together building, and that's part of Rust that's hard to translate into a video or really translate into words, but something if you experience, you know, with your friends in Rust, whether you're a large group or a small group, but over time on a seed building, you know, your base, you get very attached to that base and then the part of the map you're on, and it's a very fun experience, challenging and frustrating experience, but it's again just hard to really translate and put into words, but it's part of Rust, and I hope that I can kind of capture this in some of these Rust Cribs videos. As always, guys, it's my pleasure. These videos are a work of love here, if you will, not, you know, not of necessity. So I don't do this because I need to. I do it because I want to, and I hope you guys enjoy. As always, Fatal82, peace.